Hello and welcome to the English Matura Express, the express to your success. Today we have 2 demonstration exams for you. Let's go! Hi and welcome back. My name is Maria from the English Matura Express, and today, as I've already mentioned in the introduction of the stream, we are going to have 2 demonstration exams, but not about the same topic. We have one demonstration exam about advertising and the other one is going to be about education. That's great. Okay, so let's start with the first one. It's in the background already. So let's start. It's advertising with a special focus on social media marketing. So the introduction, always the same, but be prepared for some questions in between. So it's good to have some phrases learned by heart, but still when there are some questions, so please answer them. So don't only, Maria, no. So be prepared for questions. Yeah. Good. Task 1 is the monologue, which is about social media marketing. The situation is as follows. You work at the marketing department of a startup company, so a very new and fresh company, and you want to start a new online marketing project. In your speech, you try to convince your colleagues, which are the examiners, or in this case, which I am the colleagues. I am a colleague, and you want to convince them of joining you with this great new online project. So you talk about bullet point number 1, the different types of advertising. Then, so we have online advertising, we have radio advertising, we have billboards, so there are different forms, yeah? Then the style and techniques used in advertising. Maybe you remember the factual style where we have the doctor talking to you, sex sells. So there are some different styles and techniques used. And the pros of social media marketing. So why should our company use online marketing? Now let's move on to the second task, which is the dialogue task. You open up a discussion from a co-worker, which again, I am the co-worker, about product placement. So it's still about advertising, but this time there is the focus on product placement. There is a text, as you can see there. Yeah, there is a link to the text, so maybe have a look at it. It's, I think, a very interesting text. It's as seen on TV, why product placement is bigger than ever, especially in times of Netflix, so where you can skip the ads. Pay attention to all the products placed in your favorite TV series. So what drinks are they drinking? What cars are they driving? So yeah, there could be product placement. It probably is product placement. Okay, but yeah, that's it. Chris, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I just have to make sure that everyone can see us.
Yeah, where are you? Yeah?
That's, is it okay?
I think.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Some technical
So it's this one or that one? No, never mind, it's the same. Kind of.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
You're ready, that's great. Okie dokie. Hello, can you please introduce yourself? Just tell us a little bit what you did before and why you are here today to do the A-levels.
My name is Donald, and It's not funny.
I know, sorry. There are some Donalds right out there, and I'm sorry.
I started off as a cook, so I did an apprenticeship as a cook.
Mm-hmm.
But I got tired of it basically, and then I decided to do the A-levels. And I'm not really sure what the future will bring.
So do you want to study or?
Yeah, some sort of. I want to study, but I also want to work, but I'm
But
not sure.
So do you want to continue working as a chef, as a cook, or do you want to?
No.
Okay.
No, that's too stressy for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of smoke in the kitchen too.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to part number 1, the monologue.
Yes,
So
of course.
whenever you're ready, you may deliver your speech.
Yes. So, dear colleagues, as I've mentioned before, today's meeting is about my new idea about this new marketing project that I came up with, and I of course want you to work with me together, and therefore I'm gonna mention 3 essential points that go hand in hand with my online marketing project, or it is basically important to know them, and I hope I can convince you with it. So I'm gonna talk about the different types of advertising. Then I'm gonna jump into the topic of styles and techniques of advertising, and I used an advertisement. I'm so sorry. And then the pros and cons. Oh, the pros. Oh, sorry, just the pros of social media marketing. So, you all know there are different types of advertising. For example, you can advertise in social media, for example, but you can also do advertising. Besides online marketing, you can also do physical advertisement, of course, with leaflets, with newspapers. With articles. With articles in newspapers, with cinema advertising, with TV advertisement, with billboards, and so on and so on. More important, I think, are the styles and techniques used in advertising. For example, you can use product placement in a movie, for example, which is quite attractive for a company. And we will also focus on my new project in product placement. It's a big part of it. Other styles and techniques, or rather a technique than a style, is when you use for an advertisement, you use a so-called expert that is labeled, for example, Dr. I don't know, and it is for a toothpaste or toothbrush, of course, a company that produces those products, and of course it's more reliable if you have or portray an expert. And of course there are other types of advertisement, especially when it comes to celebrities representing a different brand or so on. The pros of social media marketing are that it is, of course, on a ground level, it's for free, but if you want to do more marketing, of course, you have to pay for the ads that you are planning on doing, for example, on Facebook or on Instagram. But you can reach out, or you can reach more people actually with social media marketing, I guess, since there are a lot of people out there. And yeah, that basically sums it up, I think. And I hope I look at my imaginary watch. I don't have too much time left.
No, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now let's move on to part number 2, which is the dialogue.
Which is about product placement.
Product placement, yeah. So what is it and how does it work? Can you tell me something about that?
Yes, of course.
That's great.
So product placement basically is when a product is placed in, for example, a video or film or somewhere else, and is not the primary intention is the advertisement, but it is placed in a video, as I've mentioned. So it is not the advertisement. It's not just an advertisement. It's just in the film. So it's a advertisement, kind of hidden advertisement.
So like a hidden message.
Yeah.
Convey. Okay.
So of course you can see it. A lot of movies do it, especially if you have computers or something. Sometimes the label of the computer is blurred or covered up with a sticker or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If it's not blurred, then it is basically product placement, of course.
Can you give any other examples? So we have like, okay, we have media in, so laptops and so on.
Yeah, we
Maybe
have a lot of soft drinks with companies, Starbucks, for example. We have Rolex, or James Bond is the example for product placement.
Oh yeah, that's right. The cars, yeah.
Yeah, Aston Martin, Omega watches, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
At one point, even Avis, the car rental service.
Ah, okay. So, so it's basically everywhere in movies and so on. So, would you say that Netflix, I mean, now Netflix is very popular, is responsible for more product placement? Just think about the traditional advertising breaks. What would you say? That's a tricky question.
Well, although there is no advertisement in Netflix, you have certain product placement, of course. But I think TV is a more expensive, more
maybe excessive,
usage, an extreme way of product placement and advertisement, of course. So you have both. If you watch a film, there's product placement, and then if there is a break and advertisement for, I don't know, how long is it? 10 minutes?
5 to 10 minutes,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Then there is advertisement again, so.
A lot of advertisement,
yes.
Yeah, that's right. So what would you say, what's the future of product placement? So will they continue to put, maybe we will have a soft drink in our hand next time?
Yeah, we have sponsors, of course.
Maybe.
I think as we've already are in a world of Instagram, where there is a lot of product placement, and of course companies that support different Instagram accounts. Influencers, yeah, and also YouTube accounts.
Big, yeah.
I think it will grow.
So online product placement,
yes,
you think? Okay.
Basically, I think. Cinema too. It won't extinguish, but what's happening here?
It sounds like it's raining.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just coming down now.
Really? I have not that. The ceiling is coming down.
No, it's the wall here. It's a bit.
Yeah.
It's covered in plastic.
And the plastic is coming down. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought the ceiling is coming down. Shall we just?
No,
I mean,
I think we do
please do not touch. Yeah. But
yeah.
I think it will. I hope it.
No, it will hold. It's just the foil.
Yeah, it's just the plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is just some plastic and it's coming down, so we are safe,
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically it. So product placement everywhere. I guess it will get more extreme. I guess, especially WhatsApp now has announced that they're doing advertisement in the app.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, but I know.
That's great. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. So that's it. And now I'm back. I'm sorry for interrupting, but we thought we're gonna die. But it's just the plastic foil which is coming down. Good. So let's have a look. There are some ticks. So introduction was fine. I hope you know what I mean with questions in between. It's more like more specific question like, okay, why did you stop working there? Or what are your future plans? Do you want to stay within your company? So maybe think about that. Then the situation. So he was able to get the situation. So he was able to act in his role, which is great. And yeah, he talked about different types of advertising. He talked about leaflets, newspapers, TV. So there are loads of different forms. Be aware of that. Styles and techniques. He talked about the expert style, which is also called factual style. So based on facts. I mean, not real facts, because probably it's not a real doctor. It might be more like a very handsome actor or actress in the role of a doctor. But you know what I mean. And then he also talked about the concept of, or the technique of, putting a celebrity into it. Like, for example, I don't know, Mila Kunis for whiskey. That's just a random example. Yeah. Then the third one, the pros of social media marketing, which was also nice. So he really tried to convince the audience, his colleagues, of doing that. I think, yeah, I am convinced. So now let's move on to the role play. The first part is also a role play, but here now it's a dialogue. It was about product placement. I think that's a very interesting topic, and whenever I think about it, I start noticing it. So maybe read the article and then you see a lot of products in your TV series, which is kind of funny, I think. And there are some really good examples of, for example, in House of Cards, they have a lot of product placement, and also in TV series like American Idol or The Bachelor, Petita di Coco, for example, for those who watched that. Chris likes it a lot. No, just kidding. I do. Yeah. And another thing which might be interesting when talking about the future of product placement, so really read the article, is the term digital insertion. Yeah, I think it's digital insertion. So they have blank spaces. For example, they have white cups, and they're drinking out of white cups, and then later there is a picture inserted or a logo inserted. And so I think that's probably the future of it, because so you can kind of put local logos in it. So for example, or maybe there is a car, but you don't really see the brand of it. So you can just, maybe when you are when it's broadcasted in Germany, you can put an Audi, or in Brazil, some different sort of car. So I think that's probably the future. But I also agree with Chris that online marketing and so product placement online is also going to be more important. Yeah, so that's it. Do we have any questions or comments for the first mock exam?
No.
No?
No.
Do you have any other ideas of what the future of product placement can be? Or are you annoyed of product placement? Because I'm not really, because I don't really recognize it. Do you? Are you annoyed of product placement in TV?
No, actually not, because it's really hidden.
Yeah, and it's kind of, yeah, when they are drinking Coca-Cola, that's not so. Yeah, a lot of people drink Coca-Cola, and a lot of people drive nice cars and have an iPhone, so it's also kind of natural, I think. So it's a good strategy, actually. Yeah, great. Okay, so now let's move on to the second exam, which is about education. And here it is. For a bit more. Okay. So again, we have no surprise. We have the introduction. I think we will skip it this time. Then we have task 1, which is about trends in education. So you are an Austrian student at the teaching college in London. That's why you talk English. Yeah? As part of your course, you have been asked to do some research about trends in education and present your findings to your classmates. So it's a presentation for your classmates about trends in education and probably also about the Austrian school system. Yeah, because you're from Austria. And yeah, good. So the bullet points are as it follows: free schools and alternative projects. So think about Montessori. And then, which life skills should be taught at school? So maybe apart from the most important subject like English, are there any other skills people have to know, or are there some skills you would skip, or some subjects you would skip, you would get rid of? Then possible changes in the Austrian school system in the future. So always think about the future. So what will happen? I mean, I know you don't have to be an expert, an education expert, and I think it's probably very difficult to answer, but maybe you have some ideas. Yeah, that's point number 1. And task number 2, the dialogue, is about what makes a good teacher. So you've read an article, again the link is below, so have a look at it if you have some time. Can you spot a good teacher from their characteristics? Probably you all had a good teacher at school. So what was she like? So are there some characteristics? And yeah, what does that mean for teacher training? Think about that. Of course, again, you don't have to be an expert on this, but there are some things you can talk about, I guess. Good. So, Chris, ready?
Yes, I'm super ready.
That's great.
Again, we have to check the cameras.
I just need to...
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Everything good.
I think.
Looks nice and crispy. Okay, just joking. Are we doing the introduction again? No.
No, I think we can skip that. So, part 1.
I think so too.
You may deliver your speech now.
Yes.
You didn't listen.
Of course. Dear classmates, today I'm gonna talk about trends in education. Before I start my talk, I want to address what I'm talking about. So at first I'm gonna talk about free schools and alternative projects, then which life skills teachers should teach, and possible changes in the Austrian school system in the future. So, you may have heard of some alternative schools besides the normal schools in Austria, which are, we all know, we all went to, I think, or most of us. But there are some alternative projects, of course. Not only in Austria. So we have Montessori and we have Waldorf. So, for example, what is Montessori? Montessori is a school project in Austria. It's called Schulversuch. Still, I think. I'm not quite sure.
No, I think there are actual schools.
Yeah. It doesn't. Okay, but it is completely different to normal schools, or public schools. Let's call them like this. At first, Montessori schools are private normally, and they have different opinions or a different attitude approaches on giving grades or on grading in general. So they don't really have grades. They have a more student-centered teaching environment. So there isn't really the teacher as such. The teacher is more or less a person that helps the student. So not only indoctrinates and teaches him or her. So pupils can decide what they want to learn, when they want to learn, and how. That's important, I think. These are actually also the most important things with other alternative schools. They kind of follow similar approaches. Which brings us to which life skills should be taught in school? Very difficult question, I guess. But if you think about what do we really need in life? So skills, of course. It is basically, and if you compare it to the Austrian school system, it is not really good. I think schools should tend to tell you what to do in different situations. Of course, it can be in a situation where your emotions are involved, but if you have a practical situation, for example, buying things in foreign countries or managing things with your finances or managing your finances and so on, those are the things that should be taught, but also things you should focus on, for example, writing CVs or something like this. So I know a lot of schools do it, but I think it's neglected by most of them, and only focused about the subjects. Forgot it.
And knowledge. No.
Yeah, knowledge, basically, yeah. The stuff you have to learn is more important than the skills acquired.
Okay.
That you need out there, let's call it. Possible changes in the Austrian school system in the future. I know there is a movement that is going on that focuses around student-centered teaching,
yeah,
and education. I hope that will get stronger in the future, and maybe there will be different architecture in schools.
You mean like the school buildings, so that they change? Okay.
Yeah, classrooms, and these are actually classroom design and school design is an important part of learning. That's the future. Let's see what the future brings. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, good. So now let's move on to part number 2. What makes a good teacher? What makes a good teacher?
Yeah, that's...
Are there some characteristics?
First off, it's a very subjective question, a subjective aspects that someone chooses to label someone a good teacher.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe let's put it this way.
No, it's okay.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but I was what skills?
No, this was the first.
This was your intro. Okay,
my
I'm sorry.
introduction
I'm
phrase.
sorry.
Yeah. But of course, a good teacher, I think in general, you can label a good teacher a teacher that understands. Did I just press something? No. A teacher that understands that students or their students learn differently. So there is not a recipe that you can
apply on
use
each
or
student,
apply
yeah.
on each student in order to make him or her.
Oh, we have a question.
I'm new here. Yeah, hello.
Hi, welcome.
That you can apply to each student. So, and you have to think or consider this approach. A good teacher has to consider during his preparation for the lessons that not every student will understand it. And,
that's right.
And a good teacher should make it possible to have the time to kind of explain it to every student that
probably
or
a hard
explain
task.
it explain it to those students that do not understand it. But of course it's really time consuming, therefore it's more or less a problem in our school system. But of course a good teacher is also a teacher that understands students' needs. So not only a lecturer, but also
so some sort of interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
So like so relationship wise. So so what would you say? What skills are most important? So I've mentioned interpersonal skills. I mean, what else?
Yeah, generally social skills. I'm sorry. Social skills, of course. So how to talk with younger people, maybe. Other skills that are important is that
being able to relate to their world. Oh, is there something?
What happened there? Oh no, just jumped up.
Okay.
Where were we?
Skills.
Skills,
Teachers should have. So we have interpersonal skills. We have maybe subject knowledge. That's also important, I guess.
Yes, of course, it is important, but it's not the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, a teacher should have the knowledge that is...
that he or she teaches, yeah.
Yeah, of course, but a teacher should also have the ability to be able... I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
To be able to explain things in a uncomplicated way. So.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have a good teacher at school?
No.
Oh.
Not really. Not really, actually. Therefore, I'm losing. I didn't have...
Not one. Maybe at university you had a really good teacher.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, at university I had a few.
Yeah.
A few. Yeah. Only one hand is enough, so. But of course, I had one, I think, in 2. The problem was that I really kind of never...
You never went to school?
No.
So you don't know them?
The relationship between me and teachers wasn't that good, I think. In my opinion. So we didn't fight or something, but it was something
so you weren't
strange,
able to connect with them?
But of course I was really good at school.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So what measures should be taken to improve the teaching quality? I mean, you said you had some kind of bad teachers, so how could this be improved in the teaching program? Maybe an exam, or what would you say?
Yeah, I think it depends on university. Strongly depends on university. I look back to my studies.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. I think there was, of course, there were courses that were beneficial for my future career as a teacher, but there were a lot of seminar or courses that were just, they didn't have any sense. There was just, you just had to be there, and that you didn't learn anything helpful.
Okay.
Actually,
so it was more like tasks you have to do to pass, but not really beneficial.
And
tasks.
I think there is more, students need to get more into schools.
Yeah. So more practice.
Yeah, but not only 1 week then, because I heard that the new system is just 1 week and then they do their studies, and I don't know how the new system works, but I think there's a lot to do in university.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I think with seminars, I don't know if really teachers are interested in it.
I think they have to go.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount they have to do, yeah. So, last question. Do you think you would make a good teacher?
Pardon me.
It's okay, it's late.
Yes.
Yeah, why?
I do think that I can cope with people, or can relate to people, can relate to people's stories, or student stories in this case, or problems. Yeah, I do think so, yeah. What we will find out, of course.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, that's about it. Let's have a look at... Oh, there isn't. Just again some ticks. Good. He was able again. He had a good structure, so that's very important. He gave us a short, a sort of overview. That's something you can do, of course. So what you are going to talk about, so that it's more like a real presentation. Then maybe, yeah, in his introduction, he talked about Austrian schools, and all people, all of you went to Austrian schools, which is in this situation not really true, because you are at the teaching college in London. You know? Never mind. It's the situation, you are in London, so basically they probably went to British schools. But anyways, I don't want to be that strict.
Oh.
It's okay. Failed. No. Yeah, I know. No, but that's fine. But just pay attention to details in the situation. Good. He talked about free schools and alternative projects, so he was able to talk about the Montessori approach. There is a lot of information about Montessori in your book, so maybe have a look at it again. But basically he talked about this student-centered approach, and then he talked about the role of the student and the role of the teacher, which is different in this system, and so I think also very interesting. Then the second one, which life skills should be taught at school? Again, it's a very difficult question to answer, because, I mean, what do we actually need to know? And isn't it good to know a lot of different things? And for some people, these things are important, and for others, they are not. So that's a very difficult question to answer, I think. But he said schools should kind of focus on practical skills and skills to be skills oriented. I think there is this shift. For example, in English, we also have like this skills, this focus on the 4 skills. So listening, speaking, reading and writing, which are practical skills. And yeah, the closing was kind of fine. I mean, it's about that's the future. So yeah, we never know. Okie dokie. And then the dialogue about the good teacher. I think we had a nice discussion. I almost forgot that it's an exam, so we had a really nice discussion, and I think that's great, because that's about it. It should be a dialogue, it should be a discussion. So sometimes there are more questions from the examiners, sometimes it's just you talking and answering some questions. And yeah, so I think that was great. So do we have any questions or any comments?
No.
No? So maybe if you find some time, let us know what you think is a good teacher. So what's important? Do you think humor is important, or do you think his or her style, subject knowledge, or great a variety of methods? So let us know. Or is it just a relationship you have? I mean, relationship in a like friendly way, of course, to your teacher. So let us know. Maybe write it in into the comments. We would be happy to read through them. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll have a nice long weekend. If you have to work, yeah, I hope you have some nice working time. Sorry. And yeah, that's about it. I wish you a pleasant evening, and we see us next Wednesday. So also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel that you don't miss any videos. And yeah, there will be another English stream on Monday and on Wednesday. Yeah. Bye bye and thank you.